Hello, all followers and subscribers of Holy Ghost. I hope this video finds you well. His Excellency Peter Obi has sent message to Tinubu, to Atiku Tinubu, to all the coalition crusaders. He said he is better off. He is the best candidate for this job. But please, you can't follow to watch this video. I'm begging for one thing. Before you watch this video, please share this video. Endeavor to share so everyone can see it, and watch to the end and thank me later.
Thank you for, but let me assure you, I'm committed to better Nigeria, and I have what it takes. I have the experience of all those who want to be president today. Nobody have my background. I built a business from the scratch. I've operated in the corporate world, and I've been a governor. And in all this, you can go and say, I was a social businessman. I transformed the smallest bank into a 25 billion bank then, and a thriving bank today. I've been a governor where I told you that the day I left, I was not owing anybody, and I've been the one who saved most money. And in all this, Anambra State has not bought me a bottle of pure water since I left office.
Peter Obi, in an interview with Rufai Oseni of Arise TV, he's been very consistent. He's been saying this for ages, but the most important takeaway from this interview is the message he sent to all the coalition members. By using the word, I am better than all the people contesting for the presidency, he's indirectly telling them, better choose me or I will not be part of that coalition. Yes, he's also sending the message to the proponents. If he is better than everyone contesting at this time, how can he become deputy to anyone? Whether you like Peter Obi or not, the most important reason Nigerians rallied behind him in 2023 was because of the way he judiciously managed Anambra State resources. No governor, like he said, has ever done it like he did it. Imagine governors of today spending into credit. They borrow money. They keep saying that they are earning more unlike before, despite not taking into account the devaluation of the naira. But you find out that most of them are still in huge debt. They continue to borrow, even the federal government. Tinubu has said that they have saved billions or trillions of naira because Nigeria no longer pays for subsidy, but we will continue to borrow even more than we borrowed when we were paying for subsidy. It doesn't make any sense. Under Muhammadu Buhari, when Nigeria was paying for subsidy, the highest he borrowed was about $50 billion equivalent. This money was printed by the central bank. So how come he has tripled the debt despite not paying subsidy? And they are proposing to borrow more than $20 billion. Just send the bill to the National Assembly for approval. As you know, the rubber stamp will stamp it without questioning how they spent the other loans they've gotten from World Bank and IMF and others. So the reality remains that we must manage our resources better than we are doing at the moment. If we don't manage the little we have to make sure Nigerians get their money's worth, then development of Nigeria will continue to be a mirage, because you must put into the economy, you must invest into the economy in order to have a return. You must invest in Nigerians before they can have jobs and start paying taxes. Yes, it's like an investment. When you invest, you earn your returns with benefits. So the people in government always feel that they can just tax anyone without giving anything in return. No, the competitiveness of Nigeria's economy is very, very low. We can't even compete with West African neighbors, not to talk of manufacturing giants like China, US, and other developed countries. These guys used to be our peers just 30 years ago, but all of them have left us behind. Now to another contentious issue Peter Obi raised. He said that government must prioritize their investments. He made an example using the coastal road, saying that security should be topmost priority over road construction. He is right, although many would argue that everything can be done simultaneously. But the reality remains that insecurity should be the topmost priority. Let's use the family to make an analogy. Consider yourself the head of your family. And in these hard times, what should be your priority? Number one should be feeding of the family. Number 2, payment of school fees of your children. If you don't pay for their school fees, they won't be going to school. They will sit at home. The third should be the house rent, assuming you still live in a rented apartment. So you can see, if you don't maintain this, if you don't spend your money this way, you might run into problems in these hard times. Not forgetting that you must have savings in case of emergency. If one of your children is having a health issue, you'll be ready to rush him to the nearby hospital to save his life. Also, you wouldn't buy a new equipment in your house if the one that is there can be repaired or fixed. You wouldn't buy a new television just for buying sake when you know you have other priorities. You wouldn't buy a new genset when you can fix the existing one. So this is how a family man should prioritize his expenditure in these hard times. Now, consider yourself the leader of a country that is ravaged by insecurity. The past 2 years under Tinubu's administration, more than 10,000 people lost their lives to insecurity. In fact, Nigeria is competing with countries that are at war in terms of lost lives, casualties of insecurity. So you can see, fighting the security challenges should be the topmost priority of any serious government. Businesses can't thrive in an atmosphere of insecurity. Nigerians are so used to going home once it gets dark because of fear of attack or any eventuality. Even in nearby West African countries, you see the nightlife because they have better security infrastructure. Do you know the amount of productivity that will be added to Nigeria's GDP if people are able to conduct their business affairs from about 6 p.m. till 12 p.m. in the night? Yes, a lot of people close down immediately it is dusk because of insecurity. Most people that run their businesses in the streets, they have stalls or shops in the streets, they are supposed to continue running their business till around midnight. Yes, that's how it works in other countries. We are so used to going home once it is dusk. Now, on road construction, we are supposed to be maintaining the existing roads instead of building new ones because there are a lot of dilapidated federal roads that crisscross this country that are begging for repair. But they have left all that and they are building new ones. Also, transport fares have risen since the last 2 years. Yes, places you could go for 10,000 naira are almost 50,000-60,000 naira today. Are we going to talk about airfares? They are almost like you want to travel abroad. When a lorry to Lagos or a lorry to Abuja is about 300,000 naira. So you can imagine, the people you are building that road for don't even travel. People don't have the money to travel like they used to travel before. Also, some that have money to travel, they are afraid they might be kidnapped. In fact, there's a local saying today in Nigeria that before traveling, make sure you keep money from ransom. Yes, that's the reality Nigerians have to deal with today. So they must solve insecurity first before businesses and other things will follow. If people stop having that stigma, I'll be kidnapped, they are shooting here, they are doing this, there are pickpockets here, they are doing that, it stifles the economy. It makes people afraid to go out to spend. The more people are on the move, the more they spend money, the more the economy booms. This is how it works. So the topmost priority should be to make sure that people are on the move. This was why the way Tinubu removed petrol subsidy and increased the price of petrol has affected Nigerians so negatively. Yes, this is why the economy is also going down. The GDP is down. Nearly all the metrics are down. The fastest way to grow the economy is to put more money in the hands of people. Even if you don't put money in their hands, make sure the ones they have in their savings have a lot of value so that they can go out and shop. Yes, shop till you drop. Go for grocery shoppings, go to the boutiques and buy wares, shoes, go to car marts and make purchases, buy cars, make the economy boom. But when people don't have money to spend, when people are focused on only feeding, you have a serious problem. People rarely go out these days because they know that once they step out, they must spend money. They don't have that money to spend. That's why they are in their homes. This is why the economy is suffering. You need to put people in the streets. You need to put them in public buses. You need to put them in taxis. You need to put them in markets so that everywhere will be booming. But they are not doing that. Instead, they are taking from the people When you step out, you pay this tax, you pay that, you pay this. You come back home, you can't even relax. There's no electricity. You have to spend money again to buy petrol, to power your gen. All these are very discouraging. This is why the economy is not growing. So take the number one top priority, solve the insecurity, so that people will have that confidence to go anywhere they want. They know that the insecurity has been dealt with, that no one will harass them, no one will kidnap them. It's a gradual process. It cannot happen overnight. But when the government is doing the right thing, people will feel it. It's not about narrative or propaganda, saying things that no one is saying. When insecurity goes down, you will feel it instantly. No one will need to tell you, this is happening, that is happening. You will stop hearing about kidnappings. You will stop hearing about mass killings in the Middle Belt, in the Northwest, in the Northeast, and other parts of the country. So this is not rocket science. Nigeria can afford to go at least 1 month for a start without hearing mass kidnappings, mass killings, and all that we hear today. All these are discouraging. And the worst part is that the insecurity is now affecting our food production. These terrorists are targeting farmers. They've killed thousands of farmers, displaced them, taken over their lands. So just like the family man would prioritize feeding of his family over any other thing, the leader of the country should prioritize insecurity, because it has become a threat to our existence. It's affecting our capability to feed ourselves. And you have to be alive first before traveling on a shiny new road. If you don't have a massive middle class that will use the infrastructure that you are building, why waste that money? If the economy starts to pick up again and people start to travel like they used to, then they can start expanding existing roads. 2-lane highways can be made 4 lanes or 6 lanes depending on the traffic. From there, they can now move into constructing completely new roads to interconnect many cities. Yes, this is how it works. They are building new roads thinking, we'll install about 5 booths in a space of maybe 50 or 30 kilometers. Who is going to drive on these roads? We want to make millions from the roads, but the traffic is not there. This is the reality. It's not rocket science, but they will always go for road infrastructure and other projects because of the corruption involved. They over-invoice all these contracts. Even the coastal road didn't follow due process. It was awarded without competitive bidding. It is against Nigerian laws. They are not even hiding it, but they can still do it in a way that it wouldn't look as if they favored one company over others. They can still conduct a competitive bidding. No one will question, why did they award it to this contractor, even while others quoted lower than the contractor. So all these are the issues. If they cannot govern in a way that Nigerians will get their money's worth, they should give way. Instead of all these bullying and telling Nigerians they can't do anything, all these mass decamp into their party as if all the governors have double votes. No, unless Nigerians are not desperate. Nigerians need to become more desperate than the politicians who are fighting tooth and nail to retain their benefits, to retain all their trappings of office. Unless Nigerians become more desperate than them, then they will have their way in 2027. Thanks for watching.